You haven't changed much.
No, sir.
Grown a little. Older, maybe, huh?
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed the trip back.
Did Mom Calendar come with you?
You remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Come on, son, let's go home. Let's get out of here. Thanks.
The FBI, now Monday to Friday at 3.
John Law's World presents the television premiere of The Ghosts of Cape Horn, a fascinating special which recaptures the golden age of sail. It's a tribute to the mighty square-rigged sailing ships that plied the world's oceans, particularly those that have made the perilous journey around Cape Horn some 150 years ago. It also honors that special breed of men who went down to the sea in ships.
If there was a man on board with some romantic notion about life at sea, Cape Horn would knock such foolishness out of him. The ship's work was unending, and fatigue became an enemy. So the ingrained disciplines of order and routine took over, and the men carried on mechanically. It was their only defense against the chaos and terror about them.
You'll see rare film clips from the past in The Ghosts of Cape Horn, and also look at ships from this magic era that are still with us today. Ships like the Star of India, the Balclutha, and the Cutty Sark. You'll enjoy The Ghosts of Cape Horn, a television first on John Law's World, tonight at 7:30.
Now, from the Eyewitness Newsroom, a news break brought to you by John L. Motors.
Good afternoon, Dale Miles from the Eyewitness Newsroom. Confusion still surrounds reports that a British submarine has torpedoed an Argentine Navy cruiser in the South Atlantic. Early reports from the British Defence Ministry said the cruiser had been damaged but not sunk, but those reports were immediately denied by Argentina. The cruiser is the General Belgrano, a former American warship, which is the last active survivor of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. In Wales, a Boy Scout has died of exposure after being found on Mount Snowdon. A search is continuing for 4 others who are still missing. Here in Sydney, the search for 5 scouts who'd been missing in Royal National Park has ended safely. The boys were found safe and well this morning after spending the night in the bush. Details on all today's top stories in Eyewitness News on Channel 10 at 6.
This is Jeep, the original 4-wheel drive, and Jeep can handle everything this country has to offer. Jeep Renegade, Scrambler and Cherokee with long and short wheelbase, available now at John L. Jeep, Sydney's foremost Jeep dealer. Test drive Jeep and let John L. convert you. And when you consider 90% of Jeeps sold in the last 10 years are still on the road, it's a very sound investment. See for yourself at John L. Jeep on the Parramatta Road at Auburn.
MASH, comedy for the whole family, Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. This is Channel 10.
You believe that anything can happen. You believe that anything is possible. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best, then you belong.
Hello and welcome to my Wonder World. Later, the great Wonder World billy cart race and a look at some fabulous old aeroplanes. But right now, how to look after horses. All pets, of course, need a lot of looking after, but horses, more than dogs, you really have to be dedicated about horses. It's not just a matter of feeding them and cleaning out their stalls. You have to groom them and you have to look after their feet and teeth. So if you've ever thought of getting a horse, you'd better listen to what reporter Sheridan Jobbins found out about horse care. Sherry?
Did you know that a horse's teeth never stop growing? Well, might be an interesting fact, but it causes a lot of problems for the horse because they get very long and rough edges and after a while bite into the gums and the cheeks and causes the horse a lot of pain. So you have to file their teeth down. And to file them, you need a rasp and a gag to hold the horse's mouth open. Oh, and an expert to sort of get the facts from the horse's mouth.
Now what's this talk about horses? What's all this talk about horses? Now what's this talk about horses? What's this talk?
Do horses need much attention?
Yes, a horse is like a baby, Sheridan.
How about things like their shoes and teeth and all that
they're
sort
all
of thing?
very important things to ponies. It's going to be used a lot and exercised. I'd recommend teeth be done every 3 months and shoes a constant look on.
Take a walk through the city. You take a walk to your desk. You sit down under the table. Your moves are hard to suppress.
Why do horses need shoes?
Well, you find that with constant work, the horse wears his feet down a lot, and you find they go sore after a while. So if you place the metal plate on their feet, they wear the metal plate down, don't wear their feet away. Thus the hoof grows, and next time you replace the shoes, you can cut that hoof away.
The shoes are attached to the equivalent of our fingernail or our toenails, aren't they? It's not into the actual foot.
No, that's right. What it's nailed to is it's dead,
Yeah.
and they don't feel it.
Now what's this talk about horses? What's all this talk about horses? Now what's this talk about horses?
Drenching is the administering of medicine for worms. And in a horse, there are 2 ways you can do it. The first one is to coat the back of the mouth with a paste. Well, that's fairly simple and almost anyone can do it. The other way is extremely dangerous and only should be done by an expert, but it is certainly more efficient. What you do is you get up a tube and you put it up the horse's nose, and you have to force it down and avoid the windpipe so it goes down either side and into the stomach, and then you feed the medicine in. Looks a bit uncomfortable, but it's certainly better than having worms.
Confrontation's so hard for you. That's something to say. You punching in out all day. But I'm the master of tag.
Do you think that anybody who loves and really wants a horse should have one?
Well, Sheridan, I think it's important that before they think of a horse, they should be prepared and think about whether they're prepared to put the time in with the horse, because that's the most important thing.
When you think about it, there's free food, house, shoes, medical attention, dental attention. I think I'll be a horse, okay. You want to go out and do my story? Look, all you got to do is you get a brief, and then you get in the car with these guys, and you just go out and, yeah, there you go. Bye.
Few yucky things, though. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
My goodness, I have to meet everyone at McDonald's, and I'm late. Oh no, not a zebra crossing. Look at the time. I'll have to fly. There's McDonald's and all my friends. Hi!
Meet Ronald McDonald this Saturday at 12:30 at McDonald's Miranda Fair, the Kingsway, Miranda.
Watch these teaser owners pit their cars against each other. Teasers are the gyro-charged dragsters from Toll Toys. Let's see what they can do.
Gentlemen, start your engines. There they go. It's Scorpion and Hustle and Hoss. Oh, Avenue 8 is out. Look at him go. That was a tight finish. Get your hands on teasers and burn rubber.
I'm going to take this delicious creamy caramello koala and I'm going to place it in the doll's house and do real magic. Watch. Hocus! Pocus! It's not working. Oh, Caramello, you can't do real magic like that. How did he do that?
Caramello Koala Magic. Creamy caramel inside Cadbury milk chocolate.
If you think of all the amazing inventions of this century, the most incredible of them all must be the aeroplane. Now let's meet one of the pioneers of flying and look at some of the old and new planes at Sydney's Museum of Applied Arts and Sciences. The reporter is Squadron Leader Jonathan Coleman. Jono?
Leave yesterday behind and take a giant step outside your mind.
Simon's idea, you see, because I keep missing planes. But today we're actually going to be having a quick look at the wonder world history of flight as we know it, from the first days of feathers to the later days of aluminium.
You stare at me in disbelief, say for you there's no relief, but I swear I'll prove you wrong.
For the sake of the children, don't let us complicate matters.
That's right. This is Scotty, Captain Scotty Allen. And tell me, how long have you actually been flying for?
Well, I've been flying since 1917, and since all children are good mathematicians, they can work it out for themselves.
It's 65 years, 68 years?
65.
65. So I suppose things have changed an awful lot since you started flying to the way they are now.
Things have changed extremely rapidly. If, for instance, you take the first aeroplanes that flew, 40 miles an hour was, you know, an appalling speed. But in those days, of course, you see, it was far more experimental.
Don't sit in your lonely room, just staring back in silent gloom. That's not where you belong.
The first hothead balloonist.
The aeroplane, mind you, is not to be trusted either, because anybody taking liberties with an aeroplane, it'll turn around and bite you. But if you respect the aeroplane and treat it the way it ought to be treated, like you do any domestic animal at home, it will repay you very greatly. Oh yes, the Southern Cross I flew many times. A good aeroplane.
Was it, is it a frightening thing being in a plane on your own, just with you and the plane? Or was it the sort of plane like this sort of plane that you'd have a co-pilot and a navigator as well?
No navigator.
No?
Very frequently no co-pilot. No radio.
Come with me, I'll take you where the taste of life is green. Next every day holds wonders to be seen.
And of course, every cockpit has to have the paper bag. It's just a part of nature. Oh, hello. Just storing a few things.
Come yesterday with me and take a giant step outside your mind.
The engines, as you can see, one in each ear, that it was not possible to talk to the person sitting in the seat beside you. I used to sit in the cockpit to pass time on long flights and sing Annie Laurie at the top of my voice, and I couldn't hear a thing. And was there that Annie Laurie gave me her promise true.
And that's how you did it.
All right.
He's a great aviation pioneer. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Learn to draw with Magidraw. Learn to draw lions. Learn to draw elephants. Magidraw is simple to use. Learn to draw monkeys and other wild animals you see at the zoo. Learn to draw horses trotting, galloping and jumping. With the Magidraw system, you can learn to draw real-looking animals and people. There is everything you need to draw and colour your pictures. Magidraw is the fun way to learn to draw.
Out of the West comes Buffalo Bill, the greatest gum fighter of them all. Don't you mean gunfighter? Buffalo Bill, the new ice treat from Streets. Delicious chalk hat, strawberry face, chalk back, and for a nose, a genuine bubblegum ball.
Okay, Pete, go for your gum. Don't you mean my gun?
At your street shop now. Buffalo Bill, the nose that won the West.
And now, Hitwave 82, with 18 chart-busting hits and 18 stickers with each album and cassette. Soft Cell, Tainted Love, Loverboy, Elton John's Blue Eyes, Baby's Got, Christopher Cross, Shakin' Stevens, Oh Julie, Altered Images, Foreigner, Waiting for a Girl, John and Vangelis, plus 10 more great hits on Hitwave 82, out now.
Feel like a bit of rock and roll? Here's B.A. Robinson, helped by a dynamic girl singer with that rock song of the 1960s called Hold Me. And they really move it along with the help of several saxophones and a really clever guitar player. And it looks like they're having fun.
When you're near me, I feel so romantic. When you're far away, I'm always blue. If you want me to remain romantic, here are the things you'd have to do. Hold me, honey, won't you hold me, yeah. Hold me, never let me go. Take me, honey, won't you take me? Never to forsake me, 'cause I love you so. Thrill me, let your kisses thrill me, yeah. Just like you alone can do. Oh, hold me, tenderly and fold me. Never try to hold me away from you. Baby, let your kisses thrill me, yeah. Just like you alone can do. Oh, hold me, tenderly and fold me. Oh yeah, never try to hold me away from you. Baby, listen to me, don't you try to hold me away from you. One more time, don't you try to hold me away from you. Baby, listen to me, don't you try to hold me away from you.
I like him because he's having fun. I'll never forget the billy cart that I had when I was a kid. It was, what's the matter, Woody? It was made out of an old fruit box and it had ball bearings for wheels. Now, billy carts are tremendous fun, and we decided to hold a Wonder World billy cart race. Now, the weather was ghastly, but a bit of rain never stopped reporter Maurice Parker.
Yes, it's very wet conditions here at the Great Wonder World billy cart race, but the rain's just stopped for a moment, so we're going to get the race underway. Okay, fellas, on your mark, set, go! Now, just how popular are billy carts?
Oh, very, very, very popular.
Why is that?
Oh, well, they're so easy to make, they're so cheap to make.
And also, I suppose, because you're going to sort of play in the sunlight and also play in the rain.
That's right. Well, any weather.
All weather sports. Now, what are they usually made out of?
Milk cartons, butter boxes, piece of plank, ball bearings, pram wheels.
Is there a great need to waterproof them?
No, no, no.
They can handle any conditions, is that right?
Yeah. The only thing that stops them is a bit of dirt in the wheels, and the water washes that out.
Right. Now, is it dangerous to ride in billy carts?
No, not at all. Not if they're used properly.
What happens if you sort of fall off, though? It must be sort of still dangerous.
Well, if you fall over when you're walking on the street, it's dangerous.
Come with me, I'll take you where the taste of life is rare. Each and every day holds wonders to be seen. Come with me, leave yesterday behind, and take a giant step outside your mind.
Hey, what's it made out of?
Right, it's made out of wood, and 2 broomstick handles down there and there, and put a block there so that it wouldn't be too loose. And now we've got the ball bearings, 1 at the front, 2 down the back.
What do you like about billy cart racing?
Well, it's fun and you can slide about when it's raining and everything.
48 crash, 48 crash. And a 48 crash is a suicide smash. 48 crash, 48 crash. 48 crash, 48 crash. Come like a lightning flash, and it's a silk sash bash. A silk sash bash, that's a 48 crash.
Well, the Great Wonder World billy cart race was to be a 500-lap marathon, but due to wet weather and conditions have become very bad here at the track. Thanks, mate. Good on you. We have the winners here, though, by default and by wet conditions. Can you just come across here? Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. They're a bit wet themselves, but here's your prizes for winning the Great Wonder World billy cart rally. How do you feel about winning?
Real great, you know. We knew we were going to win all the time, though.
Yeah, but did the wet weather conditions, you know, stop you in any way?
Yeah, well, we skidded out a lot.
There's a lot of pressure on these boys, and I think it's about time they went home and had a bath, and we'll let them go back to Mum and Dad.
Oh, yes.
And a bath for Maurice Parker too. Righto, sport, time for a viewer segment. Today's sports lover is a guy called Bruce Gofton, and he's seen here in his school's archery competition. Bruce looks like a regular Robin Hood in this shot, but he told me in his letter that he actually missed the target when he fired. No worries, Bruce. I'm sending you this T-shirt, and it comes from the Personally Yours shop, and it's got your name, Bruce, written on the front. Also, this is a card caddy, and it comes from the Rigby House. You've got 2 decks of cards and a pencil and a score pad, all done up in this vinyl case, and that's from Lansdowne Press. And here's something else, the Australian Soccer Federation Complete Book of Soccer. And that's got the rules and tips on how to warm up before a game and how to score more goals and all that sort of thing, everything about soccer. And from Festival Records, this is Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits Volume 2, and that's got the song Morning Has Broken on it. And thanks, Bruce, and I'll be back in a moment.
Simon loves to reply to your letters, but he can't unless you include a second envelope with your name and address and a stamp on it. You must include this second envelope if you want your photo back.
The big bubble gum is here in town.
Hubba Bubba. It's soft, juicy, and delicious. Best of all, Hubba Bubba lets you blow great, big, fat bubbles that won't stick to your face.
Hubba Bubba!
Big bubbles, no trouble.
Hubba Bubba Bubble Gum.
Lipstick. Is it hard to put on? Takes practice, but it's fun.
Crayon Children's Play Cosmetics are completely safe and wash up with soap and water. Eyeshadow.
Your eyes look mysterious.
Nail polish.
I love it. Cologne. Look, the new me.
Crayon lipstick, eyeshadow, nail polish and cologne.
Breakfast. This is the nose that always knows. I say, did you bring any hoot toops or boot moops or coot whoops or stoop noops or doop joops?
No, Sam, we bought our Fruit Loops.
Ah, that sounds right. What a breakfast sight.
And we didn't bring any Fruit Loops or Joop Loops or Soot Loops or Coot Loops or Noot Doops. Just our Fruit Loops.
Beaut. Tastes just like fruit and goes crunch to boot. Kellogg's Fruit Loops.
I get an incredible number of letters asking for information about the Wonder World film crews. These are the camera operators and sound recordists who work incredibly hard to make each film story a success. Now just imagine how hard it would have been trying to film that billy cart race in the rain. To introduce these unsung heroes, reporter Alita Fahey.
For every one of us, there are two of them. Because behind every reporter, there's a cameraman and a sound recordist.
Well, I've been working in a coal mine, going down, down, working in a coal mine, about to slip down, working in a coal mine, going down, down, working in a coal mine, about to slip down, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up there for the sun.
Paul, what kind of equipment do you use as a sound recordist?
Well, I have a tape recorder called a Nagra. I have a shotgun microphone, and I have a pair of headphones. But of course, I've forgotten the most important thing, haven't I?
What's that?
Ears, dummy.
When my workday is over, too tired for having fun.
What kind of equipment do you use?
I've got a 16mm camera here.
Yeah?
With 2 different lenses. This lens is a zoom lens, so you can have a wide shot here that's a steamroller and zoom into the basketball ring over there. I can change the lens. And hold
Right.
This is a 5/7 lens, very wide lens, and holds focus really close.
Yeah.
And tends to widen everything out. So if I shoot you like that, it'll look like this.
Ah,
And I've got a tripod I can put the camera on.
that's so that the shots don't go wobble around.
That's right.
Paul, what kind of problems do you encounter as a sound recordist?
Well, people sometimes mumble or they just don't speak loud.
What?
People sometimes mumble or they don't speak loudly.
Right. And what else?
Well, there's also often just like background noise and lots of people talking in the background. Quiet, please!
And what kind of tricks or newfangled devices has your Nagra got on it?
The Nagra's not really designed to do many tricks. Basically, those sort of things are done in post-production.
Right.
But you can do things like speed the sound up or slow it down or add echo.
Malcolm, what dangers have you encountered?
Well, let's see the show ride story with Maurice when we had to film him and whatever was going on upside down and that loop thing. It was
Yeah.
pretty dangerous. I really had to work against the centrifugal forces to hold the camera.
Just check a reading on that, see what you're getting.
Okay.
I reckon I'm going to have to neck mic it though.
I'll get the underwater housing. We'll get down there with it.
How about if we put a blondie here and bounce that in?
As long as we get some poly back here,
Bit
I'll
of
get the
poly to
redheads
fill
out.
from this end. We
Get
can
a bit
do
of
it.
kick light
I
on
reckon
it.
it'll work. Let's get down there.
Okay.
You're probably wondering how the crews deal with the reporters. Well, they don't. We deal with them.
Okay, come on, pal.
Sure you
Let's
do.
go. Straight on the camera. Let's go.
Speed.
Margaret.
2.
Oh, yes, you can see it's still raining down here.
Lord, I am so tired.
So there you have it. A cameraman's and sound recorder's jobs. Fun, dangerous, but it's all in the game. Isn't that right, guys?
So that's how it's done. And now for the bad news. That's the end of the show. Until next time, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and you'll find that the world really is wonderful. Bye-bye.
Now, don't go away, because Simon and the gang will be back with more Wonder World in a few moments.
Anything is possible, babe. You belong with me. So let your mind run free. If you believe we're all a little crazy. If you believe giving everything your best, then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
Action Line is a great program that assists in achieving consumer justice in this state.
And electronic sales and rentals, 3 years full warranty. And you can still pick up your hamper.
6480100. Stores now open in Newcastle, Wollongong and the Central Coast.
I see. Then Dr. Coleman graduated from the University of Berlin in 37.
37, yes.
Well, I think that about does it. Oh, 10:30. Sorry to have taken so much of your time, Excellency.
Please, Inspector, it was a pleasure.
Stew scarf. Inspector.
Alex, what was the man after? He could have gotten the answers to all those questions in any yearbook. I don't understand.
You see, Your Excellency, he wasn't asking questions. He was playing chess.
He was what?
Moves and counter moves. Checks and checkmates. You see, Your Excellency, it's not that I'm a greedy man, but I do have a wife and 5 children. What would it be worth to you in dollars if I could prove to your satisfaction that Holman is still alive?
Are you serious?
Entirely.
Not very much. Unless you can deliver him into my hands.
Yes, yes, of course. That's understood.
$7.37 more top acts face special guest judges Ugly Dave Gray and prisoner Sheila Florence, including the Carousels, Atlantis, and comedian George Smilovich. Special Mother's Day act Fred Annabelle.
I love you, Mum. You've made me what I am.
Top Australian acts all trying to win their way to Las Vegas in a show for all the family. Tim Webster's You're a Star. Don't miss it tonight, 7:30 on 10.
Now, from the Eyewitness Newsroom, a news break brought to you by John L. Motors.
Good afternoon, Dal Miles from the Eyewitness Newsroom. As many as 1,000 Argentine sailors could have been lost when the cruiser General Belgrano was torpedoed by a British submarine south of the Falkland Islands. Reports from Buenos Aires say 123 survivors from the cruiser have been rescued from the icy waters of the South Atlantic, and other Argentine Navy vessels are searching for other lifeboats. In Sydney, the New South Wales Council of Churches says Premier Neville Wran should resign if he fails to give a satisfactory answer on claims of organised crime in the state. These and all today's major news stories in 10 Eyewitness News tonight at 6 with Katrina Lee and Tim Webster.
It doesn't really matter what sort of vehicle you're looking for. We've got something to satisfy just about everyone. There's the new Dimension Sigma, Australia's biggest selling 4-cylinder car. the L200 and 300 utes and vans, the Petromiser Colt and the Sporty Scorpion. For the ultimate in luxury, we've got Peugeot or the rugged Jeep range. We've got the lot. And we're open till 10 o'clock, so come on out for one John L of a deal.
Come on down.
MASH, comedy for the whole family, Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. This is Channel 10.
You believe that anything can happen. You believe that anything is possible. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
Hello and welcome to my wonder world. Later, some incredible animals and the sticky-fingered geckonidae and some unbelievable ball games. But I'll start off today with one of these, the humble harmonica. To play it, you don't need to plug it in, you don't need batteries or amplifiers. All you need is a mouth and a bit of air. Let's meet one of Australia's greatest players and teachers of the harmonica, and to introduce him, a man who's never short of hot air, Jonathan Coleman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and for your listening and dancing pleasure, it gives me great pleasure now to present to you the Jim Conway Massed Choir and Harmonica Ensemble Orchestra.
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, are all harmonicas basically the same, or...?
No, there's a lot of varieties, many varieties. I've only got a few here. I mean, they come from that size to that size, and they're for all different purposes they play. They cover, like, most areas of the orchestra.
What about these ones? This one's got actually like a little thing on it.
Yeah, that's the chromatic harmonica. That's a real musical instrument, unlike the diatonic harmonica, which is just a toy.
A diatonic, what is the difference?
The diatonic is the one that I use most of the time, which is used mostly for playing blues. On the diatonic one, you have a different one for each key. On this one, you can play in every key. It's in a C scale, right? It's got an ordinary C scale. When you push the button in, you get a C sharp scale.
So you can play black notes and white notes?
Right, it gives you all the black notes for the piano. So on one harmonic, you can play in every key.
Well, blow through that one and then push the button in. Oh, yeah. I thought they did that with their hands. You can do that with your hands as well, I guess.
Well, that's...
And this is what the inside of a harmonica actually looks like.
The length of the reeds determines the pitch of the notes. Yeah, the longer reeds are lower pitched, they sound lower, and the shorter reeds sound higher. And you've got the blow notes on one side and the draw notes on the other side.
So the blow notes would be... and the draw notes are... inhaling.
10 out of 10.
This is probably the smallest one you've got.
Yeah, it's the smallest one I can find today. You can...
Great. Advanced Australian Fair, like I've never heard it before.
What I've got here is a bass harmonica, which takes the place of a tuba or something like that. It's in about that range of instruments. As you can see, it's got the notes of a piano keyboard drawn on the top for dimwits like me who can't figure it out. And this is what it sounds like.
Hi there. You know, no one really knows who actually invented the harmonica, but it says here in my research book that a gentleman in England who is called Sir Charles Wheatstone actually invented it in 1829. It was called the aeolina, and used reeds of different lengths in a metal box. And when you moved it across, backwards and forwards over the lips, your lips got hurt, and it played little simple tunes.
Like that. We'll be back with more Wonder World in just a moment.
Lipstick. Is it hard to put on? Takes practice, but it's fun.
Crayon Children's Play Cosmetics are completely safe and wash off with soap and water. Eyeshadow.
Your eyes look mysterious.
Nail polish.
I love it. Cologne. Look, the new me.
Crayon lipstick, eyeshadow, nail polish and cologne.
You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team.
The Best of Bowie, a tribute to the musical genius of David Bowie.
Genie is on his back. I'm only dancing. She turns me on. It's a starman.
Space Oddity, Fame and Sorrow.
Only thing I ever got from you was sorrow.
Rock and roll excellence. The Best of Bowie, out now from KTEL.
And now I'd like you to meet an animal with a short stumpy tail, sticky fingers, a flattened head, a thick sticky tongue and bulbous eyes. No, not Jonathan Coleman. In fact, it's the gecko, the cutest looking lizard of them all. And they're not only cute, but they're quite tame as well. With the story, our reptilian reporter, Alita Fahey.
You're about to witness a very rare spectacle. Inside here, I have a nocturnal animal, that's a night animal, that's going to be let out in daytime. What kind of animals are geckos?
Most of them are a nocturnal reptile, which means that they only come out at night.
Yeah.
They're an insectivorous animal. They live on small insects, spiders, cockroaches, anything along that line that they can hunt during the night.
They kind of lizards.
Yeah, they are a lizard. A gecko is a lizard.
What are their characteristics?
A lot of them have these very large eyes, naturally for seeing at night. Quite a few have this fat storage in the tail, which helps them through bad periods when they can't find any insects, particularly over the winter months when they go into a hibernation. They're found in all sorts of habitats, from deserts through to rainforests.
Okay, now here are two kinds of gecko. Here's a leaf-tailed gecko, which camouflages itself on leaves. And here, of course, is our famous leopard gecko. And you can tell he's a leopard by his funny coat. Why is the zoo keeping geckos?
Well, this particular species is endangered in its natural habitat. So we've got a couple of pairs here trying to breed them to save the species.
How many babies can they have?
Only 2 at a time, and they lay eggs.
How big can they grow?
About 200 millimetres.
And do they live to a ripe old age?
Yes, they can do. The exact age is a bit hard to determine, but in captivity I should imagine they could go on for some 6-7 years.
6 or 7 years? Gee, that's pretty old for a little fella.
Yeah.
is where these little critters live. Under bits of wood and under rocks. Well, I suppose you wanted to have one for a pet. Well, sorry, you can't because they're an exotic animal and they're protected.
How'd she get a gecko to walk backwards? We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to Pizza Hut, the planet Mars strikes again with more Martians. 4 brand new Martian greebies, guaranteed to delight kids and horrify parents.
Boo.
Buy the Martian of your choice for 50 cents with any Pizza Hut meal and get an incredible shrinking Martian name tag with it. Available from any Pizza Hut restaurant in your galaxy now.
You are welcome.
I'm going to take this delicious, creamy caramello koala, and I'm going to place it in the doll's house and do real magic. Watch. Hocus! Pocus! It's not working. Oh, Caramello, you can't do real magic like that. How did he do that?
Caramello Koala Magic. Creamy caramel inside Cadbury milk chocolate.
Now, collecting Matchbox cars is even more fun than ever.
I've got one of those. Oh, I want that one.
With this official Matchbox Collector's Kit, you get your own display stand for your cars, a collector's logbook and catalogue, and a Butte wall poster. So if you love collecting Matchbox cars like these, become an official Matchbox collector. For just $6, you get the poster, display stand, logbook, catalogue, and by answering some questions, receive a special collector's model car. Full details wherever Matchbox cars are sold.
And now let's get down to some serious music. And as a matter of fact, this next music clip is pretty dramatic. It's called Harden My Heart by Quarterflash, and it features a singer who seems to be in a quarry. Now, wait a minute. Sorry, let's make that quandary. Anyway, the ending of this clip is worth waiting for. Just a bit of total destruction. I really like it. How would you like to spend your time on the banks of a river, occasionally messing about with some boats? Here's a man who spends his life doing just that. He actually makes a living out of it. Reporter Sheridan Jobbins talks to one of the most successful and one of the most fortunate men in Australia. Sherry?
Ahoy there! It's really nautical. Hello.
Hello, Sharon.
Hello, Carl Halverson. Hi. What type of boats are these?
Oh, these are the Halverson hire cruisers.
Halverson.
Yeah.
Did you design them?
My brother did. My brother Harold designed them about 30 years ago.
Really?
And they've changed very little since then, only minor improvements.
What are they basically for?
For hire, and people have the holidays on them, and they go for weekends and generally have a good time.
Oh, I think they're
A bit
great
fishing,
fun. Yeah.
yes.
Is it possible we could go out in one?
Yeah, sure, yes, my word.
Let's go. Carl, you're situated in some pretty impressive countryside. Does it remind you of Norway at all?
It certainly does, Sheridan. It's just like the Norwegian fjord, except this is better because the climate is much better and it's more green. So we've got trees all over the
Really
fjords.
beautiful. How does a sort of small Norwegian boat builder suddenly turn into almost an empire of hiring and selling boats?
Well, it's been a long road, and it was done through hard work, really.
Yeah.
We used to work, when we started, 6-7 days a week and long hours.
It's a family business too. It was
Family.
actually started with your grandfather, wasn't it?
Well, our father started it
Yes. Oh.
in 1925.
I believe the Depression changed the course of Halverson boat builders.
Well, you see, people weren't buying boats during the Depression, so we own a speedboat around the harbour and charge a shilling a ride.
How much does it cost to hire a cruiser today for a day?
It varies, about $100 a day, $90 a day, depending on the size of the boat you want.
I believe you've had some dealings with some famous people. One of them was Errol Flynn.
That's right, Sheridan. That was back in 1930, before he was known as the film star, of course.
What happened?
Well, we sold him a boat, and we're trying to get money out of him.
Gosh, sorry.
She's all right. Tried to get money out of Errol Flynn. Let's now have the proverbial interlude. And today's proverb is from Sarah Barker, seen here with the dog Dax. And Sarah's proverb goes, "There was an old owl who lived in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we like the wise old bird?" By Sarah Barker. That's one that she picked up. That's a really good proverb. I like that. Why aren't we indeed? Well, Sarah, this is for Dax. This is the wolf-size Nylabone pooch pacifier from Val Anglam's dog shop, and he can chew on that for years without hurting his teeth. And for you, Sarah, this is a necklace. This comes, it's a necklace watch, actually, and it comes from Magnamail, and it's encrusted with imitation diamonds and rubies. And I think you'll really like wearing that round your neck. And this is from Festival. This is the Stray Cats album, which includes their songs called Baby Blue Eyes and Crying Shame. And from Matthew and the Publishers, here's the Young Observer's Book of Australian Parrots, which tells you everything that you ever wanted to know about Australian parrots, and loads of things that you didn't want to know. Thanks, Sarah, and I'll be back in 2 shakes.
Presenting Glamour Gals, pocket-sized, pocket-priced, posable fashion dolls for your very own fashion show. Here's Rootin' Tootin' Shara, Lonnie, Jessie, now in beautiful bride and in Jean Supreme, all with combable hair and posing stands. Collect them all. Look for these packs now and see how to get a free Glamour Gal.
You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to our whole team.
And now, Hitwave 82, with 18 chart-busting hits and 18 stickers with each album and cassette. Soft Cell, Tainted Love, Loverboy, Elton John's Blue Eyes, Baby's Got, Christopher Cross, Shakin' Stevens, Oh Julie, Altered Images, Foreigner, Waiting for a Girl, John and Vangelis, plus 10 more great hits on Hitwave 82, out now.
The Harlem Globetrotters are the world's best-known basketball team, but the Globetrotters are probably among the world's best-known performers as well. When they're in action, you're not just watching sport, you're watching dancing and comedy, and you're watching conjuring. Here's Maurice Parker learning some tricks from one Harlem Globetrotter.
Come on, Maurice, we've got to go and do a job. I can't, mate. I've got an audition for the Harlem Globetrotters, mate. Got what? Look, go and do your dog story. Let's go, come on.
Sheridan.
are you, Jimmy?
I'm fine. How are you today?
Not too bad.
Good.
Where do you get all your tricks from?
Well, basically, the tricks are traditional. But it's always someone coming around us, one of our players, and say, hey, we got something new. Try this, you know? Some guys will try it, some guys won't. But eventually, everybody will try it. And then, basically, everybody will have the same kind of tricks.
How do the other teams respond when you do all the tricks?
Mad, angry, upset. But we're unique. No one does what we do. There's no team in the world that do the things that we do.
Why is that?
Because we are the one and only.
Now, Jimmy, if I wanted to become a globetrotter, what tricks should I sort of start to learn?
Well, first of all, you'll have to get some shoe polish and change the color and the texture of your skin.
Oh, I'll do that for you, pal.
Would you?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course I
now,
will. Yeah.
we just assume that you've made that transformation.
Okay.
And you and me are the same.
Okay, so we're same color and everything?
Same color, same eyes, nose, ears. Right on, brother.
Right on, brother.
Okay, the first trick I'm going to teach you is what we call a ream. All
Ream.
tricks, they're not called tricks, they're called reams.
Reams.
Gotcha.
Okay.
R-E-A-M-S, right?
R-E-A-M-S.
Okay. First one, stick that ball in. 2, 3, round your back. Catch it. Snap it. Hey! Right on, brother. That's good.
Good on you, mate.
Good on you, mate. Just stand right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how to become a globetrotter. All right, chicken, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Roll it. You do just like this. You do all this stuff here. Roll. Come on. Kick it, chicken. Ha, kick it up. Go that thing. Ha. Come on. Can you do that roll? Ha. Can you do this roll? Watch it. Watch the ball roll. Just like that. Now, I want you to do all that for TV. We can do as much with the ball as a monkey can with the peanut. Kids are a lot easier to learn to play the game because for some reason, they've got a special output and outlook. They're in an age where they really want to learn and they like to learn. All right, good on you, man.
Well, I'm a globetrotter now,
That's right. Welcome to the team. You're an honorary medal.
The home globetrotters.
Yes.
Fantastic, Maurice. That's it. The end of another show. Until the next time. Look around you and you'll agree with me. The world really is wonderful. Bye.
Don't go away, because Simon and the gang will be back with more Wonder World in a few moments.
Anything is possible, babe. You belong with me. So let your mind run free. If you believe we're all a little crazy. If you believe giving everything your best, then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world.
In Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock on Channel 10.
Tonight, the action continues in the KB Cup when Canterbury take on last year's grand finalist Newtown. The Jets will be a tough team to topple, and they haven't yet reached their 1981 form. But the Bulldogs are currently one of the top 5 teams and should be playing their brand of fast, open football. It promises to be one of the best games of night football this season. Ray Warren and Keith Barnes will be calling the action tonight at 8:30 when Canterbury meet Newtown in the KB Cup.
Now, from the Eyewitness Newsroom, a news break brought to you by John L. Motors.
Good afternoon, Tim Webster from the Eyewitness Newsroom. The state government confirmed today it's examining 10 sites on the outskirts of Sydney for a possible location for a second airport. The announcement came today from Mr Bedford, the Planning and Environment Minister. Mr Bedford said the final decision isn't expected for some time yet. The death toll in the battle for the Falkland Islands has soared following the sinking of a British destroyer, the HMS Sheffield, by an Argentine missile. Britain has been stunned by the loss, which pushes the conflict closer to the brink of full-scale war. And an Adelaide teacher who admitted setting fire to methylated spirits on a pupil's hand has been fined a week's pay and transferred. South Australia's Education Minister says no police action will be taken against that teacher. We'll have all the details of tonight's top stories, Action Line and all the sport as well in Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock with Katrina and myself. We'll see you then.
World War II produced a lot of hard-fighting soldiers. It also produced the hard-working, rugged Jeep. Not that Jeeps look the same today. The luxury Cherokee, an excellent investment in four-wheel driving. Or if you want a real four-wheel economy drive, the tough CJ and sporty Renegade. If your work needs go-anywhere toughness, get into a four-wheel drive, 2-ton Jeep truck. They're an hell of a good truck, so come out for one John hell of a good deal.
Every girl dreams of being a cover girl. Only now you don't have to wait till you grow up. You can start collecting your own glamorous cover girls. Each cover girl has her own superb outfit, and you can choose from hundreds of beautiful designs. Cover girl. Now you can have your own fashion collection. Doll and outfit sold separately from Krona Toys.
MASH, comedy for the whole family, Monday to Friday at 7 o'clock. This is Channel 10.
You believe that anything can happen. You believe that anything is possible. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
Hello and welcome to my Wonder World. A bit later, some vital information on how to avoid terrible pain and suffering, and a story on how to look after puppies. But now, a great band called IQ. You may not have heard about them yet. Neither had reporter Alita Fahey. In fact, the band took her quite by surprise. Let's see how it happened to an intelligent reporter.
Let me alone. Who are you?
I am Xeon. And I am Mars.
Why have you brought me here?
We have brought you here to listen to space electronic music. We hate earthling music. Now listen to this.
On the first part of the journey to the universe, universal time, we came upon an alien ship in the universe, universal time. Welcome to our universe, oh, the universal time. As we travel to the universe, oh, the universe time.
Wow, what was that? Some kind of cosmic torture.
No, that was IQ electronic music.
We use all the electronic
synthesizers and computers, all the latest ones on the market.
Are there only 2 of you in the group?
Only 2 humans.
How long have you been together?
1 centon.
What's that in Earth years?
1 year.
You wouldn't be very popular, I mean, dragging people off the streets.
We are very popular.
What kind of songs do you play?
Commercial Earth songs. Well done, Mars. We've converted Alita to IQ.
She's a great singer. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back to Pizza Hut, the planet Mars strikes again with more Martians. 4 brand new Martian greedies, guaranteed to delight kids and horrify parents. Buy the Martian of your choice for 50 cents with any Pizza Hut meal and get an incredible shrinking Martian name tag with it. Available from any Pizza Hut restaurant in your galaxy now.
You are welcome.
Now, collecting Matchbox cars is even more fun than ever.
I've got one of those. Oh, I want that one.
With this official Matchbox collector's kit, you get your own display stand for your cars, a collector's logbook and catalogue, and a Butte wall poster. So if you love collecting Matchbox cars like these, become an official Matchbox collector. For just $6, you get the poster, display stand, logbook, catalogue, and by answering some questions, receive a special collector's model car. Full details wherever Matchbox cars are sold.
Out of the West comes Buffalo Bill, the greatest gum fighter of them all. Don't you mean gunfighter? Buffalo Bill, the new ice treat from Streets. Delicious chalk hat, strawberry face, chalk back, and for a nose, a genuine bubblegum ball.
Okay, Pete, go for your gum.
Don't you mean my gun? At your street shop now. Buffalo Bill, the nose that won the West.
Puppies. The mere name of puppies conjures up a picture of those cute little cuddly balls of fun. And of course they are a lot of fun, but they can be quite a lot of trouble as well. They chew up books and shoes, and they ruin carpets, and they keep you awake at night. They generally create an uproar. Here's reporter Maurice Parker finding out about the trials and tribulations of bringing up puppies.
Hello and welcome to Simon Townsend's Underworld. Today we're going to look at some cutesy, pootsy little bobbies. Anybody seen the basic rolls around here?
Well, it's the popular view. First there's 1 and then 2, then 3. And in the popular view, love makes you black and blue, and then green and
Well, here I am now with Mum, Fahey and puppies. What's it like looking after puppies when they're born?
Well, it's quite a fascinating experience actually to see their their advancement and just the little things that they do. It can be quite time-consuming too.
In what way?
Well, there's quite a lot to do with newborn puppies. They must be kept clean, and hygiene is perhaps one of the most important things. Actually, Mum looks after the feeding for about 3 weeks, so up until that time, there's not quite so much to do.
Right. When do you sort of take over your role as far as looking after them?
Well, at about 3 weeks, I think she decides that it's really time they sort of started to fend for themselves, and you have to then start supplementing the feed. And by the time they're about 6 weeks, they should be fully weaned. This is called a whelping box.
And why is that?
Well, it's the box in which the bitch whelps the puppy, and it's also used for containing the puppies and the bitch until such times the puppies are about 6 weeks old.
Now, whelping is when they actually have the babies.
That's right, that's what it's called.
I'm not good at this game yet. What's so special about the box?
Well, the first thing you probably notice is that it has this rail around the inside. Now, this is to stop the bitch from squashing the puppies. It gives them sort of room, you know, around the outside. And also, it contains a heating pad underneath.
Keep them warm.
Yes, yes, like a little electric blanket.
It must be very hard once you sort of looked after them and reared them and that type of thing to get rid of them.
Yes, it is really, but not so badly if you know the homes they're going to. You know that they're going to a home that they're going to be loved and cared for.
And look, they're very cute, but you must get upset when they sort of do wee-wees around the house and little oopsies.
Oh, well, you put up with that. But hopefully it's not long before you've got them trained.
Boy, that milk tastes great.
Oopsies. We'll be back with more Wonder World after this break.
The comic artist is asked to serve his country.
Are you serious?
But the call of glamour, danger, and an unlimited expense account tempt him. He finds the life of a spy somehow attractive. The smashing drives in the country. The exciting floor shows.
Little cloak, little dagger.
The nautical excursions. Condor Man.
It is magic sand.
What's magic sand?
Take a dish of water and you can make magic shapes, magic pictures, magic underwater castles.
Gee!
Take magic sand from the water and shazam, it is instantly dry.
Wow!
Use it over and over.
Can we have a go?
Magic sand from Tall Toys.
How do you eat your Smarties? There are so many ways. Do you crunch them up or sand them down? Roll around all day. Do you have a favorite color? There's milk chocolate dropped inside. Do you eat your Smarties one by one or do you open wide? Sand them down or roll them down. Which way would you say? How do you eat your Smarties? There are so many ways to eat your Smarties.
As soon as little babies are old enough to crawl around, they're taught about hot things, you know, hot, burny, don't touch, which is the sort of things that adults say to them. And it's sad, but some kids learn the hard way. They have terrible memories and scars from being burnt or scalded. Now, what do you do if someone gets burnt? There's some rather nasty shots in this next story, but it's very important information. Some vital facts from reporter Sheridan Jobbins.
What is a burn?
Well, a burn's a loss of skin from the surface, and it's usually due to heat, but it can be due to chemicals or even rubbing, and of course electricity.
What happens?
Well, the skin gets damaged from the surface down, and if I can draw you a picture, that's the surface of the skin, like that, and the hairs grow up through the skin like that, and they sort of grow from a little bulb thing like that, a bit like a tulip, and then there's sweat comes out of a little tube there, and it's produced in a sort of factory like that, and the growing bit of the skin is sort of wavy like this. Doesn't make you seasick when you're actually there. And the cells that grow are sort of dotted along here, and as they grow, they get pushed up here because more of them grow there, and as they go up, they change shape, and finally, on the surface, they're little dry flakes which just come off without you even being aware of them. You can either get a burn very superficially here, like that, and that's basically what you have when you get sunburned, or you can get a burn down here, and that destroys a lot of the skin, but you've still got these little pockets of skin which can grow and recover the surface, or you can get a burn right through the bottom there, in which everything goes.
If someone was burning right now, what do you do? What's the first thing you do with the burn?
Pick up the water jug and throw it over you.
So water in almost every case. Burns don't have to happen, do they?
No, they certainly don't. You can learn how to prevent them by going to the accident prevention centre in your state, and mostly this is centred in the Children's Hospital of the state.
Want to stop somebody getting burned? Here are some things you can do. Never leave the stove when it's in use. Turn it off when it is. Always turn your handles away so that no one can knock it off and burn themselves. With your kettle, don't leave the cord dangling over so that anybody small can pull it down or you can trip over it. With your iron, don't leave it unattended when it's not in use, because again you can pull it down and burn somebody. Radiators, your clothing, you should have a protection over it so that it can't get on fire or electrocute yourself. At the sink, hot water from the tap. I mean, it's hot enough to burn. Cigarettes, matches, bad news. You can knock them over, burn yourself. Playing with matches is terrible. And you've got drinks, tablecloths, and you can just pull them over, and again, you can scald yourself. So it's really common sense and being careful. Please.
Sorry we had to show you those scenes, but it's important that people know about the terrible dangers and so on of burns. This show now should go on and hit a high note. And now we meet today's musician, and this is Hilary Nicol. And in this photo, Hilary is practicing at her grand piano, but she also learns the oboe. Well, Hilary, for you, I've got this. This is a collection of Mr. Men party wear. This is some cups and some paper plates and some paper napkins, and they're all from the Melbourne firm Deco. And to make sure that you have something to put on your plates, this is a book from Lansdowne Press. It's called My First Cookbook, and it's got mouth-watering recipes in it, like Frankfurt and pineapple kebabs and snowflake jelly and all sorts of stuff. Yum, yum. And also a great old standby, Monopoly, from Toll Toys. Hours and hours of fun in that one. And from EMI Records, this is Marcia Hines' Greatest Hits. This one's called, it's got all sorts of songs on it, like Shining and What I Did for Love and Jumpin' Jack Flash. And I hope you enjoy all of those prizes, Hilary, and I'll be back in a moment.
Simon loves to reply to your letters, but he can't unless you include a second envelope with your name and address and a stamp on it. You must include this second envelope if you want your photo back.
Is it hard to put on? Takes practice, but it's fun.
Crayon Children's Play Cosmetics are completely safe and wash up with soap and water. Eyeshadow.
Your eyes look mysterious.
Nail polish.
I love it. Cologne. Look, the new me.
Crayon lipstick, eyeshadow, nail polish and cologne.
Now you've really got that feeling. You can't resist that taste for chomps lovely, covering, caramel smothering, crispy, tasty wave fly. Chomps 20 cents makes plenty of sense, cause you know that you can't go past the flavor that you long for, that gives your mouth a blast.
just 20 cents. Tremendous, got that exciting flavor. So go to the shop and buy it, jump it to your mouth and flavor.
See Barbra Streisand and Ryan O'Neal in What's Up, Doc?
What are these people being charged with?
Well, it's kind of hard to say, Judge.
Give it a shot.
They broke into my home.
That's breaking and entering.
Then there was a shooting.
That's assault with a deadly weapon.
They tried to molest me.
That's unbelievable.
See Barbra Streisand, see Ryan O'Neal.
What's up, Doc?
See Ryan O'Neal, see Barbra Streisand.
Get out!
Right now?
Yes! No, wait a minute!
See Barbara light Ryan's fire.
I've got to tell you, Nick.
Of course you do.
See Ryan light his own fire. See the spy, see the CIA. See the CIA, see the spy.
Where are they going?
See the spy and the CIA, see the sea. See the Volkswagen get busted. See Barbra Streisand and Ryan O'Neal and see What's Up, Friday, 8:30 when Channel 10 presents What's Up, Doc.
If you look at an ordinary bottle like this one, you'll notice that it's got a seam that goes right round it. And this means that it's been moulded in a machine. And if you find a bottle without a seam, it's probably quite valuable because it's been blown into shape. To find out about the ancient art of glass blowing, I have Jonathan Coleman, who's no slouch when it comes to blowing hot air. Jono?
Yes, sirree, glass blowing. Fact or fiction? Today we're going to be trying to answer those questions and more as we take a look at the ancient art of glass blowing.
I love the sound of breaking glass.
Well, Brian, tell me, is it something that takes a long time to master? I mean, have you got lots of burns all over your body?
Fortunately not, no. It takes a long time to learn to be a master glass blower. Many, many years.
Yeah, well, I mean, these are some of the things that you've made. This is one of yours, isn't it? I mean, how long would it take to make something like that?
To learn the techniques have taken me a number of years to actually make the piece, probably an hour or two.
How much would something like that be worth?
Over $100, definitely.
With glass blowing, I mean, where did that sort of come from, the art of blowing glass?
They had glass in Egyptian times, and they used to make it by wrapping glass around a core of clay, and eventually they learned to blow the glass about.
Where do you get the sort of the raw product from? I mean, do you just get a truckload of broken glass and you can make things out of it?
You can make it directly from sand. Glass is sand, basically.
Why do they pour a great big ladle full of glass into a sand pit?
No, there's one of the sand casting techniques that are taught by Sydney College. Some of the techniques can be blown, some of them can't be blown, so some of them are set into moulds.
How hot is that furnace, roughly?
At the moment, it's about 1100 degrees C.
So you have to do most of your work while it's still hot. I mean, you have to keep the glass hot.
While it is molten, while it is still moving on the end of the pipes.
What are those pipes called?
Blowing irons.
And you just get a daub of molten glass, and that's your basic thing, and you just keep working it and working it, and just rolling it backwards and forwards all the time.
Yes, centering the glass and working the heats into it, and then carefully blowing the bubble larger and larger as you gather more glass through the gathers in the furnace.
But if you blow it too much, it just disintegrates.
It can disintegrate, yes.
If I came to you and said I wanted to study to be a glass blower, how long would it be until I could actually blow one?
With good teaching, it would probably take you just a day or two.
Like today?
You could do it today, yes. In fact, we might get you to do one.
In fact, I will.
I love the sound of breaking glass. Deep into the night.
You know, this glass blowing, it's a pretty hot industry.
Sound of breaking glass. Sound of breaking glass. Sound of breaking glass.
Probably still there blowing hot. Seeing as the show is pretty much full of motion and energy today, I thought we'd have a more laid-back sort of mellow music clip. And this one is called Intrigue, and it's sung by that well-known lady, Marianne Faithfull. She's wandering around among guests in wonderful formal antique evening wear, and she looks very glamorous. I really like her voice. It has very unusual qualities. You'll enjoy it.
Surrounding me, intrigue surrounding you. I was only looking for a bit of harmony and grace. I swear I only meant it in good faith. In the enfolding you, fatigue I feel it too. I guess I never thought I had a thing or two to lose. I never thought I'd end up as good news. Believe in what you hear. Concede to what you fear. And if you think that I have so much love to go to waste, cut out the running home, make the bay. Intrigue surrounding me, you. Intrigue surrounding you, me. I was only looking for a bit of harmony and grace. I swear I only meant it in good faith. And if you think that I have so much love to go to waste, cut out the running home, make the bay. Intrigue, intrigue.
I like Marianne Faithfull, but with that we'll have to end today's show. If you sort of feel down in the mouth before the next show, just remember this: the world really is wonderful. Bye-bye.
Don't go away, because Simon and the gang will be back with more Wonderworld in a moment.
Let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy.
Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock on Channel 10. We'll have the latest on the undeclared war for the Falkland Islands, including reaction to the loss of the British destroyer HMS Sheffield. We'll also be bringing you up to date on the petrol situation with the latest supply-threatening dispute at arbitration this afternoon. And we'll have Ray Warren's preview of tonight's big clash in the KB Cup between Canterbury and Newtown. You'll see all tonight's news first with the news experts. In Eyewitness News, the team to watch at 6 o'clock on Channel 10.
Tonight, the action continues in the KB Cup when Canterbury take on last year's grand finalist Newtown. The Jets will be a tough team to topple, and they haven't yet reached their 1981...
Be all right.
I didn't kill the deputies. I don't think I could have killed anybody.
This Friday, our hero races against time as a hired killer gets ready to unleash deadly nerve gas. Thousands of lives are at stake. Can he save them all? Or will he be given the rockets? You just can't keep a good hero down. It's Ralph to the rescue. Don't miss the rise and falls of the greatest American hero, Friday, 7:30 on Channel 10.
Now, from the Eyewitness Newsroom, a news break brought to you by John L. Motors.
Good afternoon, Katrina Lee from the Eyewitness Newsroom. Argentina has told the United Nations it's prepared to negotiate a peaceful solution to the Falkland Islands crisis. Britain is also reported to be considering a peace proposal which could bring an end to the military conflict over the disputed islands. There's now been no more fighting since the HMS Sheffield was sunk on Tuesday. Two men are being questioned at Glen Innes in northern New South Wales over the murder of a 13-year-old boy at Kingscliff. The two men were taken into custody after police set up roadblocks this morning. We'll have details in Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock on the petrol dispute. Talks broke down today, leading to speculation that we could be in for an Australia-wide strike. And in federal parliament today, opposition frontbencher Paul Keating was suspended for alleging that the 1977 budget estimates were faked. And he was ordered from the House of Representatives. He had angry words with the Speaker, Sir Billy Snedden. He accused Sir Billy of using his authority to protect what he called this corrupt government. We'll have more on that story and, of course, all the news of today in Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock when Tim Webster joins me here on Channel 10.
The closer you get to Peugeot, the closer you get to perfection. And now, John L. Peugeot brings you the latest Peugeot, the 505. Inside, every imported luxury to take the tension out of city driving. Under the bonnet, high performance means reliable motoring. Outside, well, just take a look. The Peugeot 505 looking good. John L. Peugeot looking even better for trade-in value and customer service. John L. Peugeot on the Parramatta Road at Auburn.
Prince and Princess of Wales attend the glittering Night of Nights with David Frost introducing a host of stars Saturday at 7:30. This is Channel 10.
You believe that anything can happen. You believe that anything is possible. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
Hello and welcome to my Wonder World. Stay with me for an Elton John music clip and some fascinating facts on first aid. But first, some cartooning. Gee, I really envy people who can draw well. Whenever I try to, draw anything, it never turns out very well. But here's one of Australia's most successful cartoonists, Victoria Roberts. And to interview her, I have our very own three-dimensional cartoon, Jonathan Coleman.
You know what a cartoonist is?
Aren't they people that used to work for Walt Disney?
Yeah, I'm now a real cartoonist. You ever met one?
No.
Well, I just happen to have a real cartoonist here with me. They're not used to coming out in the daylight. She's a little bit skittish. Come on.
Right.
And look, this is a cartoonist. This is Victoria Roberts. And they live in these little caves down here, like catacombs. That's where they live. And they get... Oh, look at that.
Really?
Come on. Oh, she's scared. She's got to be here somewhere. Victoria, this is inside the grotto, the little cave that they live in. Hello, look at this, look. This is always an example that they could be a cartoonist around. Victoria, don't be scared, it's only national television. Come on, Victoria. Look, there she is. Come on. She don't like the lights, a bit scared. Come on. Well, just relax, okay? Just take it easy. I'm not going to hurt you. No one's going to hurt you. Would you call yourself a cartoonist?
Yes.
Oh, good. Where do you get your ideas from?
My mother.
Your mother. Me too.
I know a dark, secluded place where no one ever knows your face. A glass of wine, a fast embrace, your Hernando's Ole.
Yes, we spoke to Victoria Roberts' landlady, Ethel, to see what she thought.
Hello.
Hello, Ethel. What's she like?
Very nice, very lovely girl. Loveliest girl I've ever met. And the best cartoonist there is.
Even though she's a cartoonist.
Even though she's a cartoonist.
She's a bit skittish. Sorry. Well, let's get serious for a moment, shall we, Victoria, now that you've got over the skittishness. I remember you at art school, right? You went to art school.
Yes.
To Tech.
Avoca Street, East Sydney.
Yeah, those
Tech.
days at Avoca Street. I remember we used to walk through the gate together.
Oh.
We even used to sit next to each other in class. It was great. But look, who do you do work for now? What magazines and things?
I work for the National Times, and well, my ironing's private, but
Yeah.
Clio and The Age and the Sydney Morning Herald.
Do they say, here, like, do us a drawing and they pay you for a drawing? Or do they say, here, we want a whole comic strip and pay you for that?
Well, if you have a comic strip, you take it in, and they either want it or they don't want it. And with an illustration, they usually give you a story, and you do the illustration.
So that's
for
called,
that
that's
story.
like commissioning you.
Yeah.
They say, Victoria, we want you to do this, and here's the story, make it funny. Just a little bit here, you could...
Oh.
That's just a little...
Yeah, well, I haven't had time for myself. I mean,
That's
you know,
right.
I'm very
I know you've got a
busy.
whole pile to do over there.
Very busy.
Heaps.
All you see are silhouettes, and all you hear are castanets, and no one cares how late it gets, not at Hernando's Hideaway. Ole. At the Golden Finger Ball or any place you go, you'll meet your Uncle Max and everyone you know.
Victoria Roberts, very talented lady. We'll be back with more in a moment.
The comic artist is asked to serve his country.
Are you serious?
But the call of glamour, danger, and an unlimited expense account tempt him. He finds the life of a spy somehow attractive. The smashing drives in the country. The exciting floor shows.
Little cloak, little dagger.
The nautical excursions. Condor Man.
Rated G starts tomorrow at the Lyceum, Tower Newcastle, Town Wollongong and selected suburban theatres.
Want to be a big shot publisher? Hansa shows you how. It's so easy with Hansa's Rolly printing machine. Create different multicolour prints. With Rolly Print, there's no messy inks to worry about. You'll get all the type you need, plus a set of Rolly colour sticks. Rolly Print gives you hours of fun publishing your own paper, invitations, programs, newsletters. With Hansa's Rolly printing machine, you'll never know where it'll lead. And remember, there's no messy ink. See the Rolly Print in action at your nearest retailer now.
And now one of my favourite musicians, Elton John. Doesn't matter whether it's a gentle love song or a heavy rock number, this fella is brilliant, loaded with style. His Blue Eyes with Elton John at his magnificent grand piano. People in Australia are changing their eating habits very quickly. One thing that's happened is that we're eating far more seafood than we used to. Fish and prawns and oysters, all that sort of thing. The trouble is, we all want to eat them, but do we know how to cook them, Woody? To find out, I sent my seafood-loving reporter, Alita Fahey.
Look, I promise it won't hurt a bit. What's the important thing to remember when you cook seafood?
Well, the main thing to remember is to buy the fish fresh. Naturally, when you go to fish markets or to the shops, you'll see it by the blood it has in the fish. Then you can see the clearness in the eyes that'll also tell you that the fish is fresh.
And what about when you cook them? What do you remember?
Well, naturally you have to salt it and pepper it, and when you grill it, you put it on the griller, and not to overcook it. When you fry it, the same thing applies.
What are the ideal ways to cook this kind of seafood?
Well, you can do it in various ways. Scallops you can grill, which we do, charcoal grill. You can pan fry it. You can do it in a sauce, like Mornay, Thermidor sauce.
So that's kind of cheesy sauce.
It's a cheesy sauce.
The difference between these two fish is this one hasn't been scaled and cleaned properly, and this one has. Now the point is, if you want to enjoy a nice fish dinner, you've got to clean the fish properly. Do we have here?
Well, starting from left, we have flathead, and that's its fillet. Redfish fillets, and that's its fillet. Snapper. Silver brim. Coming across here, we have jewfish in its whole state, and then usually you serve it as a cutlet. There's its cutlet. Then we have gemfish, and it's in fillet form. And the flounder. John Dory, which is very popular, and the fillet is usually sold.
And now for the dramatic part of the story. One of these lucky young lobsters is going to be chosen to grace our palates. Which one will he be?
I think this one.
Steve Novak really knows his stuff. We'll be back with more in just a moment, won't we, Woody?
Win your own motorised Classic 7 vintage racer worth over $2,000 in the Twisties Grand Prix. Race race into the shop where you buy twisties, get your entry form, and make your way through the maze network of roads and obstacles. There are 5 motorized Classic 7 races to be won and 100 radio remote-controlled Porsche racing cars from Mattel. Entries close June 25th, so get moving.
Yeah, you can rip into twisties.
Grand Prix.
Magna-doodle-doo-doo, doody-doodle-dee-doo, Magna-doodle-doo. Magna-doodle-doodle-doodle-doodle-doo-doo, Magna-doodle-doo-doo. Magna-doodle-doo-doo, doody-doodle-dee-doo, Magna-doodle-doo.
Magna-Doodle and Toodle Doodle Turtle from Krona Toys.
Jerry's back. The world's funniest funny man has something to say about inflation and unemployment for all us working stiffs. He's the original jerk. Bumbling and stumbling. It's Jerry Lewis in his first new motion picture in a long time.
Hardly Working, now showing at the Hoyt Centre and selected suburban cinemas.
K-Tel presents the ultimate love package with this incredible 2-album scoop. Without You Volume 1 and Without You Volume 2. Buy one, get one free. The Essence of Romance with Johnny Mathis and Denise Williams, Elton John and Air Supply. The Manhattans, Boz Scaggs, Lou Rawls and Willie Nelson. Buy Without You Volume 1 and get Volume 2 free. Only $9.99 for 36 classic love songs from K-Tel.
Here's something amazing, how to do the most beautiful writing without a pen or pencil touching the paper. It's a fantastic system called Letraset, and it takes all the hard work out of writing fabulous-looking headlines and signs. Join reporter Maurice Parker as he discovers the tricks involved in using incredible Letraset.
Good morning, Maurice. How's the project coming along?
Oh, real fine. Just putting my Letraset on.
That's a bit ambitious. Do you know what you're doing?
Nah, just rubbing these little letters on.
Well, I think you'd better find out more about it.
Must be something we can talk about. Maybe there's something here that we can do.
How do you actually use it?
Well, this is the sheet. First of all, you need a baseline to line your letters up on. Take your sheet, pick your letters, whatever word you're going to write down. I'll start with type. Line your letter up on the baseline.
And just rub it
away.
There it is, it's working now.
Phew. Burnish it down so it doesn't come off. And there's your letter.
Now, just say I made a mistake.
Right.
What would happen?
Just get a bit of tape. Lift it off.
Now, can the letters be used over and over again?
No, only once.
Well, how many different types of Letraset are there?
Well, there's over 450 actual letter designs in our range. A large range of instant drawings, as in figures, cars, trees, fancy borders, corners. You can have company logos, as in Shell.
The idea of Letraset came about in the late 1950s in England. The whole idea behind it was to give artists greater scope and creativity in their work. And here's something which has nothing to do with that last point, the cost of Letraset. $2.65 for the small sheet and $10.50 for the large sheet.
of the special things you can do with Letraset is, by using this special thing called tint overlay, you can colour your own pictures, just like Steve, the graphic designer. A clever little fellow.
I'm standing on the outside looking in. I'm standing on the outside looking in. Whoa, I never strayed outside the law.
I like that colour of me. Righto, time for our viewer segment. Today's family has been sent in by Margaret Binney, and it's actually her mother's side of the family, and there's Margaret on the right side there in the green jumper. And here's some toothbrushes, Margaret. This is enough for the whole family and more. And this is not just your ordinary toothbrush. This is the Action 2 double-headed toothbrush. And I really like those. I've been using it lately. This is a Rigby book for you too. This is Training Australian Horses, and it tells you everything about it. Mounting, riding, grooming, show jumping, the whole works. And something else that your whole family will love. This is from KTEL, the Seals and Crofts collection. And it's got We May Never Pass This Way Again and lots of other songs. And thanks, Margaret, and all the best to you and your wonderful family. I'll be back in a moment.
Simon loves to reply to your letters, but he can't unless you include a second envelope with your name and address and a stamp on it. You must include the second envelope if you want your photo back.
Have a fun day. Everybody have a fun day. Everybody.
The brand new Harborside Park with the greatest thrills and attractions from around the world. The Super Loop, the Pirate Ship, the Wave Swinger, and the amazing Geronimo roller coaster. See Sydney from the Skylab wheel. Entertainment, fun, food and thrills. Sydney's greatest ever party is on again for the whole family.
Have a fun day, everybody.
At the Big Face at Wilson's Point.
Now you've really got that feeling. You can't resist that taste for chomps lovely, covering, caramel smothering, crispy, tasty wave cloud. Chomps 20 cents makes plenty of sense, cause you know that you can't go past. The flavor that you long for, that gets your mouth a blast. Chomps 20 cents, tremendous, got that exciting flavor. So go to the shop and buy it, chomp it to your mouth and flavor.
Presenting Glamour Gals, pocket-sized, pocket-priced, posable fashion dolls for your very own fashion show. Here's Rootin' Tootin' Shara, Lonnie, Jessie, now in Beautiful Bride and in Jean Supreme. All with combable hair and posing stands. Collect them all. Look for these packs now and see how to get a free Glamour Gal.
You're walking down the street and suddenly you see a child hit by a speeding car. You run up and the child is bleeding heavily. His breathing has stopped. Now what do? Most people, of course, just panic. They have no idea of what to do. But if you're a member of the St John Ambulance Brigade, you know exactly what to do. Here's Sheridan Jobbins with a story about a really extraordinary organisation.
One of the many things that a St John Ambulance Brigade cadet learns is good, honest, basic first aid. And that's pretty important because how many of us know what to do in case of...
Help! I need somebody help! Nights in white satin.
What's the basic aim of the St John Ambulance Brigade cadets?
The basic aim is to teach young people how to help one another by teaching them first aid and home nursing and subjects kindred to making them good citizens.
The Order of St John is actually one of the oldest and the only remaining order of chivalry. That's like knights in shining armour, and they still have their chivalrous code, which is...
I promise to serve God, to be loyal to the sovereign and to my officers, to observe the mottos of the order which are Profido for the faith, Praiutate for whom serves mankind,
To be thorough and well comply.
to be truthful and just in all things, be cheerful and prompt in all I do, to help the suffering and the needy, to be kind to all animals. Thank you.
Andrew, it's a really good-looking uniform. Are you proud to wear it? Yeah. You got these funny little badges on it. What are they?
Well, that's home and road safety. That's map reading, and the other one's cycling.
What are the 2 bars?
Well, they're years I've been in the brigade.
You
So
enjoy
it's
it?
good. Yeah, it's good.
What would you say is the best thing that's happened to you? Been there?
You all right? Quick, lean forward.
What sort of places do the cadets go to?
Well, our cadets and all cadets throughout Australia and other Commonwealth countries help the senior members performing first aid duties at pop concerts, festivals, marches, footballs and all sorts of sports.
Here are 28 fun things you can learn as a St John Ambulance cadet. There is boating, camping, canoeing, casualty simulation, childcare, citizenship, civil defence, clerical ability, cookery and nutrition, cycling, firefighting, handicraft, handyman, homecraft, home nursing, hygiene, hygienic food, international friendship, interpretership, knowledge and care of animals, knowledge of the order, librarianship, map reading, natural history, physical recreation, road and home safety, signalling and swimming life-saving. What are some of the best parts of being a cadet?
I like it because don't always do first aid, you get to go different places and that.
I like being a cadet because you meet different people at different places.
When you go out to different places to do things, you get free food and free drink.
I like it because when you're going in by train, you can go free because you got your uniform and everybody respects your uniform.
When I was young.
The St John Ambulance Brigade, they're really wonderful people. I always go to say St John's, but it's the St John Ambulance Brigade, and I really admire them. They do a great job at football games. It's time for us to say goodbye. That's the end of the show. But don't despair. Simply look around and you'll discover that the world really is wonderful. Goodbye.
Don't go away. Simon and the gang will be back with more Wonderworld in a few moments.
You believe that anything is possible, then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best, then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
In Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock on Channel 10, Sydney starts to run out of petrol and could be facing a prolonged national shutdown of service stations. We'll have a special report in tonight's 6 o'clock news. Also tonight, the latest on the Falkland Islands dispute, which investigates claims of the council blatantly flouting its own regulations.
Well, leaving, Mr. McDonald?
I'll be back, Mr. Sumner.
Good. This land will bounce back, too. We'll have a lot of planning to help you with.
Tonight, our hero races against time as a hired killer gets ready to unleash deadly nerve gas. Thousands of lives are at stake. Can he save them all? Or will he be given the rocket? You just can't keep a good hero down. It's Ralph to the rescue. Don't miss the rise and falls of the greatest American hero tonight, 7:30 on Channel 10.
Now, from the Eyewitness Newsroom, a news break brought to you by John L. Motors.
Good afternoon, Ian Hislop from the Eyewitness Newsroom. Petrol stations in Sydney, Newcastle and Wollongong have had their fuel supplies suspended indefinitely by the Transport Workers Union. A meeting of tanker drivers in Sydney has decided the only deliveries to be made will be to stations which agree not to buy high lead content petrol. Stations in Sydney are reported to have enough petrol for 4 or 5 days of normal trading. And Prime Minister Fraser has announced a major reshuffle of federal cabinet. Backbenchers Jim Carlton and John Hodges have been elevated to the cabinet, taking the health and immigration portfolios, while Jim Killen has been replaced by Ian Sinclair as Minister for Defence. And entrepreneur Harry M. Miller was today sentenced to 3 years jail on charges of fraudulently misappropriating more than $700,000 from the failed CompuTicket booking agency. But Mr Justice Lee set a non-parole period expiring on February the 28th next year, which means Miller could be released after 10 months. Details on these and all the top stories in Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.
World War II produced a lot of hard-fighting soldiers. It also produced the hard-working, rugged Jeep. Not that Jeeps look the same today, the luxury Cherokee, an excellent investment in four-wheel driving. Or if you want a real four-wheel economy drive, the tough CJ and sporty Renegade. If your work needs go-anywhere toughness, get into a four-wheel drive, 2-ton Jeep truck. They're an hell of a good truck, so come out for one John hell of a good deal.
Saturday night, Lawn Green stars in the great new action series Code Red.
We have a 6-story chemical plant, 3rd floor heavily involved.
A fire in a chemical factory. And anything can happen.
I'm going in.
No.
But that's Ted and Charlie in there. Fella's got to help them.
I can't risk anyone else.
Anybody on that team could have been killed. I want Ted off the task force.
Code Red. Exciting action Saturday at 6:30 on Channel 10. Prince and Princess of Wales attend the glittering Night of Nights with David Frost introducing a host of stars Saturday at 7:30. This is Channel 10.
You believe that anything can happen. You believe that anything is possible. Then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. You believe we're all a little crazy. You believe giving everything your best, then you belong with me. So let your mind run free. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. Welcome to my wonder world. It's the world we live in.
Hello and welcome to my Wonder World. In a moment, what it's like to be a vet at the zoo and a music clip from Sheena Easton. But to start the show, some circus acts. When I told Jonathan Coleman he'd be doing this story, he said, "Great, lots of juggling, eh?" Now, Jonathan's just mad about juggling. No, I said, no juggling. We've had too much juggling on this show, I said. I told him I wanted this story to be about unicycles and stilts, nothing else. And what happened, Jonathan?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, am I excited. Oh, hi. Have I got some excitement for you today? Boy, 2 guys who used to be jugglers. Jugglers. Dirty word, but they've mended the error of their ways and now they've started a school to actually teach people how to use unicycles and stilts. It's incredible. No juggling at all. Yuck. But today, you're going to be meeting these guys and seeing how they actually do it. They're juggling. Stop juggling. Stop filming. Stop juggling. Sorry about the juggling. We didn't mean to have any juggling in it. Oh, sorry.
Would you please not film this part, please?
This is the bit they really want to see.
It's a little embarrassing. They're rolling.
Oh, great. Okay. National television, thank you.
All right, go for it.
Tell me, true friend, am I high?
Okay, guys, let's just wrap, shall we? I just want to find out a bit about...
Get the wheel off my... Hold on a second. Hello. That's better. Do you actually teach people to sort of walk on stilts and use unicycles and stuff?
Tough way to get rich, but it's a living.
Yeah, that's right. We've decided, too, that, you know, just having a university degree isn't enough in today's job market. So you need these specialized skills.
So you think that if people have these extra skills, they have a chance of maybe getting a more highly paid specialized job?
Sure, in high technology, high fashion, high society.
What about the actual danger element? Is there much danger? I mean, are you covered with insurance in these jobs?
There's no danger whatsoever as long as you don't fall.
That's right.
That's right. That's the only danger.
Please don't lie, or have my legs been rubberized? Tell me, true friend, am I high?
What's happening next? More interview. What about the stilts? Where do you actually get stilts from?
Well, we had to make them. You can't really buy them in the store.
But I suppose you have to use a special kind of wood to make sure they're safe.
Yes, the lighter and the stronger the better, because if they're too heavy, then you can't move your feet. If they're too light, they'll break and you'll fall and hurt yourself.
Well, how much is a unicycle actually to buy?
Well, they cost $200 in the States.
I love that story. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Breakfast. This is the nose that always knows. I say, did you bring any hoot toops or boot moops or coot whoops or stoop noops or doop joops?
No, Sam, we bought our Fruit Loops.
Ah, that sounds right. What a breakfast sight.
And we didn't bring any Hoot Loops or Joop Loops or Snoop Loops or Coot Loops or Noot Doops. Just our Fruit Loops.
Beaut. Tastes just like fruit and goes crunch to boot. Kellogg's Fruit Loops.
Look what I found! What is it?
It is magic sand.
What's magic sand?
Take a dish of water and you can make magic shapes, magic pictures, magic underwater castles.
Gee!
Take magic sand from the water and Shazam, it is instantly dry.
Wow!
Use it over and over.
Can we have a go?
Magic sand from Tall Toys.
Shake it, you can really hear the milk moving round inside. And Milky Bar is the milkiest bar by far.
Nestle's Milky Bar has more of the creamy goodness of milk than any other bar by far.
Shake it, Milky Bar's a star. Milky Bar is the milkiest bar by far.
Being a vet would be a fabulous job, but if you were in the country, you might get sick of treating sheep and cattle, and if you were in the city, you might get sick of treating just dogs and cats all the time. I reckon the most fascinating place for a vet to work would be in the zoo, and I asked Alita Fahey to find out what it's like to be a vet at Taronga Zoo.
Here at the zoo, we vets like to give our animals personalised treatment. I mean to say, what better way to treat a sick animal than to start off with the good old examination.
Okay, Doc, how do we examine this snake?
Well, we find the front end first. There it is.
There's his face.
Hold of it down there. And we better unwind him before Mark's hand falls off. You'll be very careful that you don't hurt the snake doing this.
Right. Pretty strong, aren't they?
Oh, they're just sort of one long tube of muscle. All right, let's get on that head there. Right.
Oh, so what do you do?
I'm just examining the
His
mouth
mouth.
and teeth here. It's nice and clean.
So we've examined the patient. Sometimes, though, we want to have to get inside them. And to take a look inside them, you have to knock them out with an anaesthetic machine, then use an X-ray machine. Well, what do you make of that, Doc?
Well, this bird's got some severe problems. You can see here, he's had an old break. It's all calcified, which means it's all fused together already, and it's healed in the wrong position. And his elbow, he can't bend it anymore.
So there's nothing we can really do for him. He'll just have to limp around on one limb.
Well, we can fix it to make it point in the right direction so it'll look normal, and he'll be able to live quite happily in the zoo, but he won't fly.
Poor fella. Hey, haven't we got a patient now?
Oh, yeah, we've got a new guinea dog to remove some stitches
Well,
from.
we better get to it, you know?
Right.
Patient's welfare. That was a job well done. Isn't it amazing all the different kinds of animals we get here in the zoo there?
Oh, we get everything here, right down from the little fish up to the elephants.
Yeah, why do you think there's so many problems with the animals?
Well, really, we don't have so many problems. Most of my time is spent making sure they don't get sick in the first place.
Right, so it's vaccinating them, things
Vaccinating,
like
testing, doing post-mortem examinations on anything that does happen to die. We know exactly what diseases we've got.
Don't know if I like that part, but it is a fascinating job. And now I have a very pretty lady to sing for you. It's Sheena Easton, and she's in the company of 3 hunky footballers, then some bronzed surfers. In fact, she doesn't seem to be suffering at all to me, but despite the fact that they all look terrific, her song is called Another Broken Heart. It's fun. Sheena looks fantastic.
Took home to play, but love ran out, threw me away.
isn't it? We'll be back with more Wonderworld after this break.
The Best of Bowie, a tribute to the musical genius of David Bowie. Vintage Bowie.
The only thing I ever got from you was sorrow.
The folk music of the great cities.
This is Major Tom.
Young Americans, golden years and fame.
Makes a man take things over. They call them the Diamond Dogs.
Rock and roll excellence. The Best of Bowie. Out now from K-Tel.
Available from Grace Brothers, Woolworths, Target, David Jones, Parlings, Light and Sound, Waltons, Edells and Homecrafts.
Now you've really got that feeling. You can't resist that taste for chomps lovely, covering, caramel smothering, crispy, tasty wave cloud. Chomps 20 cents makes plenty of sense, cause you know that you can't go by. The flavor that you long for, that gives your mouth a blah. Chomps 20 cents, tremendous, got that exciting flavor. So go to the shop and buy and chomp it to your mouth and flavor.
Hi, I'm Strawberry Shortcake, and I live in the wonderful world of Strawberry Shortcake. I smell like strawberries. These are my very good friends. We all have delicious smells. I'm Blueberry Muffin. I smell like blueberries. I'm Huckleberry Pie, and I smell like huckleberries. Apple Dumpling smells like apples. You can even comb our hair. Remember, life is delicious in the world of Strawberry Shortcake.
The human body, what a weird and wonderful invention. Let's look at some of the amazing things that people can do with their bodies. Now, some people can touch the end of their nose with their tongue, like that. Some can get their legs into some very weird positions, or they can touch their wrist with their thumb. And reporter Maurice Parker investigates strange bodily abilities.
The human body is renowned for doing some remarkable things. Today we're going to have a look at some of the more bizarre, more weird, perhaps the more stupid things that it can do.
Cars and girls are easy come by in this day and age. Laughing, joking, drinking, smoking till I spent my wage. When I was young, people spoke of immorality. All the things they said were wrong are what I want to be. Hey! The sky was down. Hey! The square around. Hey! The sky was down.
Here's something really stupid that you can do with a plastic body. Body again. For the first time on Wonderworld, we have the human spider. And from behind these bushes, we'll introduce him. The human spider.
Correct and whip. Give the pass a slip. Step on a square. Break your mama's back.
Here I am with our resident body expert who's going to show us a few tricks that you can do at parties with your hands.
Try this one.
Do you have to be special to do it, like double jointed or anything?
No, not particularly. It's just practice, perseverance, and stupidity.
I got one of the three. You know when people do these sort of funny things with their fingers and their hands, they look really deformed, and they say they're double jointed. Is there such a thing as being double jointed?
It's a term that's kind of used for someone who's very flexible. You can't have like two knuckles or two wrists or two knees or two backs or two spines. That would be the literal meaning of being double jointed. It's just a level of agility. Like very young children, you find, can sit just about any way, as they're very supple. And as you kind of get older, unless you keep it up, you get very stiff.
When a good time turns around, you must whip it, you will never live it down. Unless you whip it, no one gets away until they whip it. I say whip it. Whip it good. That's instretchable.
Is it very dangerous? Like, you might get into a position and get stuck.
Well, you kind of work slowly on these things. You don't automatically sit in lotus just like this, or you don't automatically do a back bend. It's something that you work to slowly until you get it perfected.
I'm now going to try, with the help of a few of my friends, to try the lotus position. Ready?
Right, now put this leg on there. Yeah, that's all. There, that's it. Yeah.
Right.
Now bring this one up.
Like this.
Yeah, up, that's it.
I think I'm stuck. Hey, but I've got to get back. I'm stuck. Get me back to the office. Simon, Woody, help!
He's still like that too, I think. I'd say it's time for a viewer segment. Today's creative person is Jackie Diwal, and Jackie likes to cook dolls. That is, she actually makes dolls out of flour, salt and water, then hardens them by heating them in an oven. And here is an example of Jackie's handiwork. This is a doll on a heart, and it's all nicely painted. I think that's really great, Jackie. And for you, I have these 4 beautiful Chinese prints. These are really quite magnificent. Real long like that, and there's 4 of them in this series. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're terrific. They're printed on top quality art paper, and they're perfect for hanging on walls, and they come from the mail order firm Magna Mail. And here's a fantastic book. This is called Debrett's Etiquette and Modern Manners, and it tells you exactly what is the right thing to do regarding table manners, party invitations, etc. And from Atlantic Records, this is The Spinners, and it's called... it's got on it, no, it's called Can't Shake This Feeling, and it's got their song Send a Little Love, and You Can Go Your Way and I'll Go Mine. And I'm sure that you'll enjoy all of those prizes, Jackie, and I'll be back in a moment.
Simon loves to reply to your letters, but he can't unless you include a second envelope with your name and address and a stamp on it. You must include this second envelope if you want your photo back.
Now, collecting Matchbox cars is even more fun than ever.
I've got one of those. Oh, I want that one.
With this official Matchbox Collector's Kit, you get your own display stand for your cars, a collector's logbook and catalogue, and a beaut wall poster. So if you love collecting Matchbox cars like these, become an official Matchbox collector. For just $6, you get the poster, display stand, logbook, catalogue, and by answering some questions, receive a special collector's model car. Full details wherever Matchbox cars are sold.
You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to a voting. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to a voting. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself. You got to help yourself to a voting.
Want to be a big shot publisher? Hansa shows you how. It's so easy with Hansa's Rolly printing machine. Create different multicolor prints. With Rolly Print, there's no messy inks to worry about. You'll get all the type you need, plus a set of Rolly color sticks. Rolly Print gives you hours of fun publishing your own paper, invitations, programs, newsletters. With Hansa's Rolly printing machine, you'll never know where it'll lead. And remember, there's no messy ink. See the Rolly Print in action at your nearest retailer now.
Professor Julia Sumner Miller is a physics teacher who devises the most fascinating experiments out of ordinary household things. After thousands of TV appearances, innumerable books and lectures, and at the age of 72, the professor has some very firm ideas on how things should be done. Sheridan Jobbins went to interview him and brought back this rather unusual story.
Professor, this is not your first book. How many have you written?
8 in this country. And my principal purpose here, obviously, is to make a pitch for the book, which you see is entitled Enchanting Questions for Inquiring Minds.
What are the sort of things that you're asking in this book?
Why are some clouds black and some white? Why does a brook gurgle? When do you see a rainbow? No.
Professor, how would you describe yourself? Are you a physicist?
Well, that's my principal business, physics and mathematics. But from my childhood and younger than they are, I wanted to be a naturalist.
Why do you write books that are so provocative?
Well, that's the principal ambition of my life, to provoke thinking.
Can we see a few experiments?
Sure, we can see a few experiments. First, you ready? Tell me when you're ready, young fellow. You're ready. You heard him say. You see, I have a cork, you call it, and there's the head of a pin. See the head of the pin?
Yeah.
And here is another cork, and there's the point of the pin. But anyway, if I put the point of the pin on the head of the pin, and now I take my left hand away, won't the upper cork fall down?
It should.
It should, of course. There it does. There it did. Now I'm going to fix it so it doesn't. Here is a fork from the dinner table, and there is another fork from the dinner table. And now you see I've lowered the center of gravity below that point of support, and now watch how wonderful this is. Look at that.
It stays there.
Look how stable that is. That's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if you don't think it's wonderful, I think you're dead. Now here it is with the little man. Get a tight shot on this little man. You may have to back off a little bit to get his arms.
Fine.
You get the whole thing? I say you may have to back off.
No, you're wrong.
Let me show you one more. Get tight on that glass, which has some ice cubes in it. Back off a little for me. Now I'm going to put some water in there. Now I have a little piece of string, which I'm going to wet in this glass here. Now I'm going to lay the string across that ice, very carefully, just like that. And now I'm going to pour a little salt. And now what does the salt do? It melts a little of the ice, but because there's much more ice there, the water will refreeze, and the string will become fixed to the glass, to the ice, and we'll be able to lift out some ice with the string. Isn't that wonderful?
It's extraordinary.
Of course it is. Back off a little bit, fellow. And leave this in the script. Don't cut it. Don't alter it.
Never.
Never. Never. I'll not have it, because there'll be trouble. When I do something, lady, and say something, that's the way it must be. Not with somebody editing it.
All right.
Nobody edits. Now, back off a little bit, fella. There we are. I got some at least. Pretty good, isn't it?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, of course. It does.
Professor, are you ever wrong?
Yes, mostly wrong. 9 times out of 10, probably. And I'm glad you asked that question. I'm never afraid to be wrong. I'm never afraid to speculate in the fear that the answer would be wrong, because the only time I have ever learned anything is when I was wrong. Now, teachers are especially guilty of this kind of fraud. They're afraid to answer for fear they'll be wrong. When, in fact, if they were wrong and then learned that they were wrong, wouldn't they improve by learning what is right?
Yes.
So the biggest evidence I have for my learning is that I've been wrong thousands of times, and so I am now more right.
He's a wonderful man. Well, that's it for this show, and that's goodbye to the first 700. Yep, this has been the 700th show since Wonderworld started all that way back. Please join us again for all of the next 700 shows. And keep in mind, the world really is wonderful. Bye.
Don't go away, because Simon and the gang will be back with more Wonderworld in a few moments.
Through your help in the past, the Police Boys Club have provided tuition and guidance to over 200,000 boys and girls in New South Wales in a wide range of cultural, sporting and healthy recreational activities. We need your help today in